Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube channel video. You're here with your channel host GBHL James, and I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a model review. That's right, it's a little bit of a different format. We know that the army reviews and the army showcases have been incredibly popular, but as you know, we are lucky enough to be sponsored by the wonderful Shadow and Flame, who do painting commissions and sculpting commissions, and as such that does bring to us some amazing opportunities to get our hands on some absolutely gorgeously worked on miniatures. So the idea behind this miniature showcase, as it were, is to showcase some of the miniatures which have been sent across by the team Shadow and Flame and give you an opportunity to see them in all their beauty. So as you can see, our first one of these is going to be looking at the absolutely wonderful Radagast, which is a foot version and also a conversion of a on horse version, which of course you can't pick up. Now let's have a little bit of a look at the horse version first. Now you might have seen this in a couple of bat reps, so I'm going to go in and we'll have a little bit of a look at some of the detail here. Now this guy, I have used him once before. One of the reasons why you've not seen him so much on the channel, because I really do like the Radagast profile, but one of the reasons why you've not seen him so much on the channel is because I didn't have a foot version. Now this conversion was expertly done by the wonderful Flame, which is Dave Fredericks of Shadow and Flame, and then the paint job was actually done on site for everybody who came to the I'm not sure whether it was the league final. I think it might have been the league final at the end of last year, and people got to see Kev actually paint this guy up in a single day, and as you can see, absolutely stunning. Now what I'm going to try and do with some of these miniature reviews, and I want you guys to join in the comment section below, because there are many of you out there who are much better painters than I am, and you get to see all of the positive things. Now one of the things that sort of blows me away when I look at Kev's work is everything just looks so clean and crisp and almost like it's been drawn on rather than painted on, if that makes sense. So I really like the horse. Now it was my decision to go for a brown looking horse. Kev did give me the option of what I wanted to go for. If I just zoom back out a little bit there, he did ask me did I want to have a grey horse, a brown horse, and I said to him, I said, well, whatever you think is best, but I really like the idea of a brown horse. You know, will that work considering all of the browns in Radagast? He said, no, that's absolutely fine. And you can see how he's got round that here, and you know, really given the horse the white socks, as you can see there at the bottom of the feet, the speckles, and also just look at the detail in the face. Now when I've been trying to improve my own painting technique, I've been doing little things like looking at these Shadow and Flame miniatures and their paint jobs and looking at how I can improve. And I have to say, looking at all these little details like the eyes and the teeth and the little bits on horses have made a huge difference to my own horses, which of course you can see in my Sons of Our Hobby vlog. So it just shows if you put in that little bit of time and do a bit of the teeth detail, the eye detail, try and make your horses a bit different, do a few socks which are a little bit different, then that does make a huge difference. So other eye-catching things, well, let's have a little bit of a look at that saddle cloth, because that to me is something absolutely stunning. See there with the tree and leaf designs, and it's these key little details which make the difference between a model looking like a good, well painted miniature and looking like something absolutely, you know, completely something else. And such a nice different use of the browns as well. And one thing I really love with this guy, if you look at the end of his wizard staff, it looks like it's glowing. It looks like he's actually performing some kind of magic there, which is really cool. Now I have to say that the limited edition Radagast model is of course a beautiful model, and you can see on the back there Kev hasn't done all that detail. That is actually part of the plastic of the Mini. But again, looking at some of the things that might make a shadow paint job just that little bit special, and something which I know has helped me in improving my own technique, is just look at the little trimmings around the edge of the cloak, you know, just doing something that's a little bit different. Look at the gloves, just these tiny little things which when layered up they do make a huge difference. Even the feather in the hat. Now something I do like always having a look at with Kev's models are the faces. So let's turn this guy around. Now I think this model itself does lend itself, there we go, does lend itself to a good paint job, and I'm sure Kev will agree. And I'm not even sure that the camera footage here does this guy justice, because he looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. What do you guys think? And if we just turn it round, now we're giving Kev a lot of credit here because we are looking at the paint job, but the conversion itself is absolutely fantastic. Now the first time I saw a conversion like this, I believe it was actually our very own Damien O'Byrne, very own GBHL Damien, who had done a mounted Radagast conversion, and I very much said to Dave Fredericks, could you do me something like that? And this is what he's produced, and it looks like it's supposed to be like that. I actually think the limited edition Radagast really lends itself to this. Now if you've got any questions about how Dave of Shadow and Flame managed to do this conversion, get yourself onto their Facebook page and have a little look. And again, it's just look at those little details like the greens coming out of his satchel there. He looks absolutely stunning. Now, one of the difficulty, I mean, I really do like Radagast on a horse. Obviously, he can move around, but he does lose, obviously, one of his big benefits, which is the fact that he has an elven cloak. He can hide behind things and cast his spells out of sight because he's Master of Birds, so he can see things across the battlefield. Putting him on a horse, of course, makes all of that a little bit tougher, but very cool nonetheless, and makes him affect the game in a very different way. I am actually waiting for my Radagast on Sleigh, which again, a completely different type of game that you'll play with that, just as you'll play a completely different game when you use Radagast mounted on Eagle. Now, one thing that has always astounded me, or one thing that can make a huge difference, I should say, are the bases. And if you look at that base and the amount of detail on it, it really, 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 really does finish off the miniature. And I will have to ask Kev, you know, where does he get these? See these little plant things that stick up? Where does he get them from? Because they look so cool. And also another thing that looks cool, look at the way that he's like jumping over that little stream. These are the kind of details that take a good looking miniature and make it look absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. What do you guys think? Okay, so at the last stopport I was lucky enough to actually finally get the foot version of this, which means that I'll finally be able to field my Radagast, which I want to do, of course, as part of the Eagle armies. And here we go. And again, it's almost like Kev has done this before. Look at the detail in that guy's face. Now, the base that came with the limited edition Radagast has been used quite well there, with a log that's sticking out. But then, of course, has had all that extra detail from Kev, right down to sort of putting the animals' faces that are coming out of the logs, which is cool. And Sebastian as well, for that nice little strength 1 attack. Now, there's not too much more to say on this guy compared to the mounted guy, other than look at the consistency of the work, because of course it's the same model. It's the same model, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So you will see these guys in a battle report soon. If you would like to see these guys used in a battle report, make sure you let us know. I will be doing a special unboxing for it soon, but it's worth throwing out as a mention. A massive thank you to Alex Wright of Wright's Wargaming Terrain for this beautiful display board that we have here. I've put a couple of my own trees on it just for now, and this is what we're going to be showcasing some of the armies and miniatures on. And I don't know if you can see there, but look at that cave. I wonder who could be in there. So a big thank you to him, and I will do a special unboxing just for that soon. So I hope you've enjoyed this video looking at some very gorgeously painted miniatures. I'll be doing this with a few of the Shadow and Flame miniatures over a period of time. So comment below and let us know what you think. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Support your Hobbit hobby. Follow us on Facebook and support us on Twitter. And as ever guys, happy strategy battle gaming.